Hello and welcome back to the worst weekly tech show on the internet. It's never weekly, the tech bits are kind of few and far between, and as for being a show, well, a better name all around would just be 15-ish minutes of rambly bollocks. And your Uncle Spurt's fresh back from Disneyland Paris, where I spent several days conducting important scientific research into precisely how shitted I could get at a kiddie-friendly theme park. And spoiler alert, pretty gosh darn shitted. Another crushing victory for science, I think you'll agree. And I think I've finally figured out why Goofy talks that way. It's all the bloody frozen margs and tequila slammers. Anyway, you can see my full magical boozy tour of Disneyland over on the Spurthole channel if you're after more of this proper high caliber content. But now I'm back and it's time to pull on those tech trousers, as crusty as they might be. And this week, because there certainly has not been enough Samsung shenanigans on YouTube this past fortnight, we're checking out all those hot Galaxy S27 Ultra rumours. Could this be the Ultra we've all been craving for years? And there's also a wee review of Sammy's Galaxy XR helmet jobby, followed by the usual passive-aggressive viewer comments. Jingle me. TechSpurt Weekly! So I don't reckon that even Samsung would argue much at the accusation that recent Galaxy S series smartphones have been somewhat underwhelming. I mean, the S26 Ultra at least introduced a pretty snazzy new feature in that privacy display, which is proper handy when you're checking out confidential or slightly dodgy stuff in public. But at that sort of price point, frankly, you want more than just a fancy pants screen. You know, you want a smartphone that can do your tax returns for you and babysit the kids while you bugger off down your local. However, some early leaks for next year's Galaxy S27 Ultra have already been circulating online, and so far sounds like at least partially the evolution of that Ultra brand that Sammy fans have been craving for a while now. Now, with the fresh Galaxy Z Fold 8 series, Samsung has finally shaken off its phobia of silicon carbon battery tech and properly given that capacity a boot up the arse. All the way up to 5000 mAh now for the Ultra model, which is still a modest upgrade compared with some foldables like Motorola's Razr Fold and the Onomagic V6, but at least it's an actual step in a kind of correct direction. Now, online tipsters reckon that Samsung will make a similar push for its new S27 series of blows, which seems pretty much a dead cert, and the word on the web is that the S27 Ultra will come sporting a 5700 mAh battery, up from 5000 in last year's S26 Ultra. And again, no, this still can't touch rival flagship phones from the likes of Oppo and Honor, but at least should hopefully prove enough of an upgrade that more demanding users who are never really off their smartphones can still comfortably make it through a long, arduous day, still have some juice in the tank when they get all tucked up with Teddy at night. And once again, you can expect minimum 60 watt wired charging support, and I'm really hoping that the wireless charging is going to get a bit of a boost, but we'll see. And there's also been plenty of stiffy-inducing online chat about Samsung overhauling the camera tech for the S27 Ultra, after, frankly, a rather disappointing recycling of camera bits on this year's S26 Ultra. However, it has been rather mixed messaging, to say the least. So while the main shooter is almost certainly going to be one of Sammy's own 200 meg sensors once again, and you can bet your favourite floppy bits on another 50 meg ultra-wide shooter, there has been some disagreement on the state of those telephoto cameras. You see, the old S26 Ultra has a dual lens arrangement consistent of a dinky 10 meg sensor offering 3x optical zoom, plus a secondary 50 meg sensor with 5x optical zoom. But recent rumours suggest that Samsung may have actually completely scrapped that 3x zoom jobby, trimming the telephoto duo down to just a single lens. Which certainly makes some kind of sense because, you know, the 200 megapixel main sensor can be used to snap a detailed image that can then be cropped into in order to basically simulate zoom, which tends to work pretty well as long as the light is alright, but if the light is cack, then it's not quite so good. And I figured that if they're scrapping one of the telephoto shooters, that maybe that secondary lens will change from a 5x zoom to maybe like a 3.7 or a 4x zoom, so you can at least still kind of use it for portrait shots. Get some nice shots of your kids, your cats, whatever else, without them to get right up in their ruddy faces. Whereas 5x zoom, you have to be standing pretty far back for that to work. But those web whisperings do reckon that it'll be a 5x zoom on the S27 Ultra, so a similar setup to what you get on Google's Pixel Pros. Oh, and they're apparently also finally upgrading that crappy selfie camera to a 16 meg effort with optical image stabilization for all those crispy night shots and vlogs if you're into all of that. Performance should be typically smooth with Qualcomm's upcoming Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro in charge, most likely with a 4 Galaxy bit slapped on the end, just to really help that name roll off the tongue. And here's hoping we see a proper bit of vapor chamber cooling again to keep the S27 Ultra from getting toasty under pressure. That should be backed by the usual 12 gigs of RAM unless you're absolutely brimming with spare cache that you want rid of, in which case you can just chuck more of it at Samsung for an upgrade to 16 gigs. And the other bits all sound rather familiar, so slapped on the front end you'll apparently find another 6.9-inch AMOLED screen with that clever ass privacy display tech, as well as, again, a good bit of S Pen support. Although if you're still holding out for the glorious return of that Bluetooth remote control functionality, well, frankly, I think there's more chance of Emma Stone suddenly announcing she's got a big thing for sad old bald tossers with crap YouTube channels and whisking me off to the Bahamas to romance me with unlimited pictures of snakebite and black and an endless buffet of pork scratching sandwiches. But anyhow, that's what we think we know about the Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra. But what do you reckon? Are you tempted to hang on just to see if it really is a decent wee upgrade? Well, definitely let us know your thoughts, your feelings, your general grievances down in the comments below. And now it's time for this. Uncle Spurt's wee one. It's a short review, not his penis. Now, your Uncle Spurt loves a big shiny helmet, and it doesn't get much bigger or shinier than the Samsung Galaxy XR. And this lovely bit of Bonds furniture will cost you 1,700 quid, the same as Samsung's new wide boy foldable phone. So if you fancy fully diving into that Galaxy ecosystem, you'll probably want to get your hands on a few orphans. About 5 or 6 kidneys worth should do the job. Still, that cash does buy you a seriously premium bit of hardware. The Galaxy XR's 4K OLED screens are frankly stunning, offering a crispy, punchy view of our world in Google Maps immersive view, as well as 3D-ified pics of your fluffy buddies in photos, or my distressingly enormous dome in YouTube. The Android XR interface is pretty easy to navigate around, while the hand and eye tracking is accurate and marvellously intuitive. And sure, this isn't the most convenient way to use Google's apps, but it is certainly the most engaging and fun. At least for a couple of hours until your face starts to ache a bit. And best of all, when you're using the Galaxy XR, you absolutely do not at all look like a massive knob. However, the performance can be a wee bit glitchy every now and then. While this headset doesn't actually have a built-in battery, so you will need to stay tethered to the bundled battery pack at all times. And this only offers a couple of hours of action before it's fully depleted unless you connect it to more battery packs or just simply hook it up to the mains, at which point you can start to get a little bit awkward. Bloody hell. And so far there's limited third-party support for Android XR, so gamers certainly will be far better off snagging themselves a far cheaper MetaQuest headset which comes with hundreds and hundreds of available titles. And that in a nutshell is the Samsung Galaxy XR. Uncle Spurt's wee one. It's a short review, not his penis. Well, wasn't that just chuffing marvellous? And now it's time for a bit of viewer comments. Alright, so on the subject of me buggering off to Disneyland last week, Mythic Sun says, I'm expecting at least one photo of a drunk you headbutting Mickey Mouse. Jesus, have you seen the size of that lad's head? I would not even know where to start. Plus, if I absolutely had to get arrested for assaulting a costumed character, I would go to Poulton's Park, bloody Peppa Pig World, and I would absolutely mullet every last f***ing one of them. Starting with Daddy Pig, that massive dripping beef cock. Or actually, I would go to Alton Towers, bloody CBeebies land, and I would hunt down that whiny, witless, rabbity thing. What's his name again? Bing! Bing the bastard. Honestly, what an annoying, furry f***quid that is. Sorry, apparently I'm in a bit of a grump today. I blame the heat and the 8-pack of Stella I drank just before this. Moving swiftly on, Bonus Baby says, I was just in Orlando Disney World 3 weeks ago, tweren't cheap. Aye, very much not. But to be fair, those Orlando Disney parks are the best by far because they cater to Floridians who are basically just grumpy old pissheads like myself. So the booze offerings in those parks, absolutely top-notch stuff. I'll absolutely have to get myself there and do a spurt hole vlog type thing at some point. Gameflix W8F says the young spurt looks like Shane Ward. Got to admit, I do not know what Shane Ward is. Let's do a search. He is an English singer, apparently. Our work here rose to fame as the winner of the second series of the X Factor. Apparently had a Christmas #1 in 2005 with That's My Goal. That's my goal, don't put your ball in my goal. Is that one? Yeah, I can confirm I'm absolutely not that dude, obviously. I mean, if you've heard my jingles, you'll know for a fact that I'm not a singer. Not only would I not pass even a single round at the X Factor, I doubt I'd even make it past the bloody bouncers. But speaking of, Sean B says, where do you get such nice wallpapers? Well, jingle time, baby. Wall.alphacoders.com, wall.alphacoders.com, that's where my wallpapers come from, wall.alphacoders.com. Denman1977 says, weird science shout out. I mean, I haven't seen it in absolutely forever, but it was definitely one of my favourites back in the day, for pretty obvious reasons. Major fantasy wish fulfillment. And despite my hazy memory, I'm absolutely certain there's absolutely nothing problematic that might possibly upset people these days in there. And another great movie, TLD Inspire says, Event Horizon is one of my faves. I mean, seriously, how did that movie not get as big as the likes of Alien and stuff? I mean, it's one of the best sci-fi horrors of all time. Certainly, it's pure nightmare fuel. Like, just the scene with the airlock, the dude who, gets in there without a suit on or anything, that haunted my brain for months. And on this subject, also got to big up Danny Boyle's Sunshine, which most people seem to have either completely forgotten about or just didn't even realise existed in the first place. Another banging slice of space terror. Oh, I've actually got a tech-related comment here, boo, hiss, etc., from Smitchy, who says, sad that OnePlus is gone, never settled. Yeah, absolutely tragic, mate, for sure, and still kind of surprising, even though obviously it had been on the cards for months. Rumours have been circulating since last year, I think it was, so I don't think anyone was particularly shocked when they pulled out, but still they've got a pretty big fan base in the Western markets, so yeah, it's a real shame. Now, the subject of last week's episode, not last week's, obviously it was about 3 weeks ago now, standard, but the subject of the last episode of this bollocks was, of course, the Pixel 11 series, which we will be seeing next Wednesday, August the 12th. That's the official launch date. And I, for one, am so excited that I'm sat right here in a puddle. Although, again, that might just be down to the heat and the cans of Stella. What Affer, not quite as excited though, he says, Google should have just called it Dead on Arrival 11. Oof. And Colin735 says, less RAM, more money. That maths ain't mathin'. This is a mess of the tech world's making. I hope that sales plummet to the point where sense eventually prevails. I bought a bloody bet, just to be extra annoying, this will be like the best-selling Pixel series smartphones of all time or whatever. Florida199 says, I honestly was hoping to see Google updates on the battery and the charging. I guess I'll keep my Xiaomi 17T for a long time. That's probably a wise move, to be honest. But yeah, if there's no real updates in the battery tech, the charging tech, etc., then just honestly, we need a return to the glorious Nexus days. That's what we need. I do love how this show is just quickly descending into old man grumbles about how things aren't as good as they used to be. Jamie74 Gemini 87 says, right, that's my 7 Pro doing at least another year of service until they stop releasing security updates. It was 5 years of updates for that generation, which means, hang on, maths. I think you're good until next year, but seriously, this is why you certainly shouldn't smash a whole crate of Stella before your A-levels. Likewise, Rob Lightbody is a Pixel fan. He's got the Pixel 8, not tempted to upgrade to the 11 series. He says, I think I'm going to jump ship and get the Oppo Find X9 Pro with its awesome battery. And that's the thing, in the flagship realm, all these Chinese lads, Oppo, Honor, etc., are really smashing it when it comes to the hardware side of things at least, making the likes of Google and Apple just look a bit basic in comparison. I'm going to completely bollocks up the pronunciation here, so apologies in advance, but Rockimru? It's definitely not said that way. It says, to be honest, the only thing that will get me to upgrade would be a 1-inch camera sensor. There's really not much improvement at the moment. I'm not expecting many camera hardware updates. I think it'll all be just AI processing shenanigans as usual. And Justin Shane says, yes, I do want to know how much the Fold is. That's why I'm watching. Sorry, but well, I mean, just in case you're also for some reason watching this video, I believe the Pixel 11 Pro Fold is said to cost from 1,800 GBPs, around sort of 2,000-ish euros. So yeah, just as hilariously expensive as those Z Fold 8s. And Billy Big Socks says, really tempted to go iPhone, at least you know what you're getting. Exactly the same as last year. Great comment and best username of the day so far. Well done. Buddy's Bit Banter says, you probably won't reply. Well, surprise. But what phone do you use? After watching 500 of your videos, I'm no further forward. Just tell me a phone with a good camera, video and battery life. That's all I need. If you actually watched 500 of my videos, you must be well sick of my saggy old chops by now. What phone do I use? Well, unlike those other big YouTubers, I don't just have a daily driver or whatever bollocks they call it. Stick my SIM in whatever I'm reviewing at the time, and that's it. If you want a phone that shoots good looking video with excellent battery life, the Oppo Find X9 series is the one that immediately springs to mind. You get some decent looking home movies from that thing and the battery life is insane. Sai says, what's your head shaver of choice, Mr. Spurt? I mean, I'm a basic bitch, so generally whatever's on sale at Boots. I think I'm using like a Remington or something at the moment that was like half price. Jamie Neglin says, I hope your daughter doesn't watch your videos. God no. In fact, I just don't let her watch YouTube full stop because this is an awful lot of bollocks on here, current content very much included. Some of her mates are into all that stuff about, I'm a 16-year-old who owns a mansion and I just built a McDonald's in my basement. You know, the kind of stuff where you watch 2 minutes of it and you just find yourself absolutely begging for the apocalypse. And Jesus, yeah, better make this the last one because bang out of time. DM Coco says, when did Unc start watching anime? Probably when it was first invented, I reckon. Cheeky no, I guess, to be honest, it's probably about sort of 13, 14-ish, because, you know, like a lot of teenage boys used to be a massive night owl, so I just stay up until like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, watching whatever random bollocks they used to chuck on Channel 4 late night. Usually schlocky horror movies, but occasionally you get a good bit of anime slapped on there too. So, as far as I can recall, I think one of the first anime movies that I ever saw was Akira, which they chucked on, which just broke my tiny wee mind. Though I also distinctly remember some of the more colourful offerings on there, the likes of Urotsuka Doji. Now there's a film, if you've never seen it, it takes the term every hole is a goal to traumatising new levels. On the subject of anime though, also just a couple of nights ago I did go to see Death Note the musical in London at the Barbican Centre. If you get the chance to go see it, absolutely highly recommend. They proper nailed it, absolutely fantastic cast, great costume and sets and everything, cracking stuff. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this week. A massive thanks to everyone who commented on the previous episode. Please do tappity tap 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 whatever you want down below. It can be about tech if you absolutely must. And we'll get through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, what the f is next week? So as already mentioned, Google is officially launching those Pixel 11 smartphones next Wednesday, evening time here in Blighty. And from the state of those comments, it sounds like you're absolutely all just thrilled by the prospect. But yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully I have some pixel-shaped content of some description for you guys at some point. And no more plans to piss off to a theme park and get absolutely mullered next week as well. So touch wood. Same time, same place next Friday, another lovely chunk of Techspert weekly action. So in the meantime, thanks for watching this shower of shit to the bitter end. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell if you haven't already, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful weekend. Cheers everybody, I love you!